What's up, everybody? This your boy Adogg, and once again, I'm back with another video. Now today we got some more Larry Bird. This is another video that y'all sent me, and this one was called When Michael Jordan Bullied Larry Bird and Instantly Regretted. This gotta be good. Now before we get to the video, if you're new to the channel, be sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and dive straight into this. Man, I know this about to be good. Let's go.
You are currently looking at a 21-year-old Michael Jordan, a kid who is fresh off his junior season at North Carolina and has yet to play in a single NBA game. You are also currently looking at a 27-year-old Larry Bird, who is in his prime. Looking at this matchup on paper, this should have been no contest. Jordan was the leader of the 1984 Olympic team, a team made up of college kids, while Bird, he was leading a team full of NBA All-Stars who were supposed to toughen up the college kids before the Olympics and show them what life in the NBA was like. Only that's not what happened. Instead, Michael would go on to embarrass Larry and in turn created a rivalry that Michael himself would regret, because sure, Mike put up individual numbers against Bird and the Celtics that were absurd, but as you are about to see, during his time in the NBA, Michael Jordan eventually got the best of basically every star he ever faced off against except for one, and that man is Larry Bird. Now, you guys may remember this sequence from The Last Dance, and I'm going to explain to you why it's so meaningful.
Enjoy yourself, dog. Y'all gave us the run for our money. Yeah. Now you can work on that golf game of yours.
As you just saw, Michael cursed out a then head coach of the Indiana Pacers version of Larry Bird after the 1998 Eastern Conference Finals, where the Pacers took the Bulls to 7 games. Now, Michael said these curses with a smile, but there was no joking when it came to Michael Jordan and basketball. Mike was this hyped to beat Larry because after taking him down in that Olympic exhibition game, in all reality, Jordan would never really get the best of Larry again, and instead, it was Larry Bird who would get his revenge. So what's up, guys? Mike here, and today we are taking a deep dive on the story between Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, an underrated rivalry that again could possibly be the only rivalry that Michael Jordan was ever bested in. There are some absolutely crazy stories in this video. I know you're gonna love it. I do want to say though, guys, that episode 7 of my podcast Laced Up is out right now. In that episode, we talked about the NBA MVP and we did a huge NBA playoff preview. Make sure to go check it out. The link is in the description, and remember, if you go to the Laced Up podcast channel, if you subscribe and turn on post notifications, you are going to be entered to win a PS5 or an Xbox Series X. That is a pretty sweet deal for just a few clicks of a button. So guys, go check out the podcast, link in the description, with current NBA players, including several current All-Stars and future Hall of Famers. Now remember, at this point in time, only college kids could play in the Olympics. However, it was expected that these college kids would lose to the NBA All-Stars, right? Well, we'll get into that, but this also led to the first documented Michael Jordan versus Larry Bird matchup on July 9th, 1984. In this game, the NBA All-Star starting lineup featured future 3-time NBA champion John Paxson, 3-time All-Star Mark Aguirre, and 3 Hall of Famers in Robert Parrish, Isaiah Thomas, and of course, Larry Bird. Meanwhile, the Olympic team had 3 future Hall of Famers in Michael Jordan, Chris Mullin, and Patrick Ewing, but these were just college kids and they had no business really competing with NBA All-Stars. The Olympic team actually went 8-0 against 8 separate teams of NBA stars. As we all know, Michael Jordan was not the number 1 or number 2 pick in the 1984 draft, but playing for Bob Knight, Jordan established himself as a dominant force, and it was clear this guy was going to make a huge impact in the league right away, and he did, as Mike would average over 28 points per game as a rookie. Now, because of this, Larry Bird saw Jordan as a threat. He saw him as a young kid who was going to try to come in and take over the league that Bird was currently dominating. Remember, Larry was the MVP in 1984, and he would actually win MVP in 1985 and 1986 as well. This meant that Larry Legend was—
he won MVP 3 straight seasons. Larry Legend
at his apex, and he wanted Michael Jordan to know this was his league, which meant, according to Sports Illustrated, during the pregame warmups in Indy, Jordan had chased a ball to the NBA end, whereupon Bird controlled it. Did Bird hand it to Jordan? He did not. Without a smile, Bird kicked the ball over Jordan's head back to the Olympian's end. Jordan didn't seem surprised, he just shook his head. 4 nights later, when Jordan crashed to the floor in Milwaukee and Johnson paused to help him up, the NBA coach waved Johnson off. Get get away from him. He's been over our backs all night, shouted none other than Oscar Robertson. Looking at Larry Bird specifically here, you heard that right. When a ball bounced to the NBA All-Star side and Michael Jordan went to retrieve it, Larry Bird did not give it to him. Instead, he kicked it over Michael Jordan's head. With this, Larry was telling Mike, I don't care who you are, you're going to have to earn respect in the NBA, and it's going to be tough. The thing is though, this move would look kind of silly because on this night, Michael Jordan would embarrass the NBA All-Stars, including Larry Bird. Mike would help lead the Olympic team to a win as he showcased his jaw-dropping athleticism and his ability to already seemingly score at will. And of course, it wouldn't be a Michael Jordan game if there was not a huge highlight, which came in the form of this absolutely monster dunk over Robert Reed. Now, as for what Mike thought about Larry's actions during warm-ups, he would later say, quote, Bird was showing me it was all business now and I was beneath him. I didn't forget. Which means, I guess you could say, Michael Jordan took this personal. But the thing is, Larry Bird took this personal too. Remember, Larry was in his absolute prime at this point, but so were several Hall of Fame guards and forwards, and as I'm about to show you, Michael would eventually get the best of all of these players, because when Michael entered the NBA, 4 guards/forwards would make the first team All-NBA in Michael's first 2 seasons. And guys, before we continue quickly, remember on this channel right, you name it, Michael had Dominique's number in the regular season, and in the playoffs, the two matched up once and Mike's Bulls swept Dominique. Moving on to Magic Johnson. Michael barely snuck out a win difference in the regular season, and I would say certainly he had better overall numbers, but what was most important was, in their one meeting in the NBA Finals, Jordan dominated and the Bulls won Mike's first championship in 5 games. So again, advantage Mike. This brings us to Isaiah Thomas, the one other name on this list that actually has an argument for best Mike. Now, in the regular season, Isaiah did win more games, but again, I'd say Mike had better numbers, and then in the playoffs, Mike's numbers were clearly better, but Isaiah does have the win differential here. The thing is though, Mike would get his revenge against Isaiah. He would of course knock out the Pistons in the 1991 Eastern.
I'm gonna tell you now, like basketball back then seemed like it was just like way better and stuff like that. Like you say, with the trash talking, Larry Bird kicking the ball over Michael Jordan's head, telling him, like basically saying, go get it. You know what I'm saying? This is my league, letting them know, bro. But God, Larry.
Conference finals after years of losing to them, a revenge that was so sweet that the Pistons refused to shake hands with the Bulls after they were swept. This revenge makes all the difference because in Michael's matchups against Larry Bird, when looking at them head to head, we can see that in the regular season, Larry bested Mike in the wins column and put up similar numbers other than score. Then in the playoffs, bam, Bird's Celtics took down Jordan's Bulls all 6 times they played, and even though Mike had some absurd games, including of course his 63-point outburst against the 1986 Celtics, where Larry would call Michael Jordan God disguised as Michael Jordan, Larry and his team always got the best of Michael, and that never changed. Jordan would never get revenge over Larry Bird, which is of course not only extremely rare, but makes Larry one of a kind. And the thing is, Mike acknowledged this. When Larry eventually retired, Michael would make this statement: Larry, I hear that you're retiring. Thank goodness, I'm glad. I'm tired of seeing your face. You brought a lot of sad memories for me. I enjoyed it and I wish you a lot of luck, and I think you had a great and wonderful career. You ruined a lot of my successful games against the Boston Celtics.
Well,
some great words and some telling words, because we can see here Larry Bird was really the one guy that Michael Jordan never got. And sure, Larry Bird's Celtics were better than Michael Jordan's Bulls early on, but that was the case of a lot of teams when Michael Jordan entered the NBA. The thing is, Mike got revenge on every single one of those teams except for the Celtics and Bird. This already is huge, and I think because of this, Mike not only had the ultimate respect for Larry, but he also openly admitted that he learned a lot from him, especially in the matter of getting into his opponent's heads. Mike has stated, Larry Bird is the greatest trash talker and mind game player of all time. He taught me everything I know about getting in folks' heads. This was certainly true. During his time in the NBA, Mike watched as Larry did the following things, and this is just naming a few Larry Bird trash talking stories, as there are a ton, but number 1, in Mike's rookie year, Larry was playing the Atlanta Hawks and dropped 60 points. An amazing feat that was even more incredible because according to Doc Rivers, quote, the last shot he said in the trainer's lap coming down the court, which meant it was going to be a 3 and it was going to be from deep. And then he said, who wants it? Then I think Reggie Brown, I'm not sure who it was, ran out after him. He shot this high rainbow. It goes in. Reggie bumps into him and accidentally knocks him on our trainer's lap. Yes, Larry Bird actually landed in the trainer's lap, scored 60 points on the Atlanta Hawks, and the Atlanta
Bro, it's like Larry Bird was a cheat code, bro. It's like whatever he shot, it like it just went in. And like Michael Jordan was happy that this man retired. Like, you ruined a lot of my memories, bro. Come on.
Hawks bench celebrated. Absolutely amazing. Story number 2, of course, Larry went into the locker room before the 1988 three-point contest, asked everyone competing who is coming in second, then proceeded to keep his warm-up jacket on and win the contest on this final shot.
This is a tie for the money. Yo! With the 2-point ball.
Then, of course, we have number 3, an absolute classic, as on Christmas Day in 1990, Larry went up to Indiana Pacer Chuck Person before the game and said, "Hey Chuck, I have a Christmas present for you." Then, during that game, he pulled a 3 in Chuck's face and said, "Merry Christmas," as he drained it. These are just 3 of the legendary trash talking stories that Larry Bird racked up during his NBA career, and I wanted to highlight them because Michael saw what Larry was doing. Michael saw how effective this trash talking was and began to do the same. He saw that Larry played mind games with his opponents and that this paid off big time, and so Michael developed his own style of getting into his opponents' heads and even went as far as befriending Charles Barkley during the 1993 NBA Finals, taking him golfing before Game 4 of those finals and giving him a $20,000 earring so that Chuck would lose his competitive edge. That's right, when asked why he did this, Mike supposedly said, "He won't get in my way the rest of the series. What's $20,000 to me? Charles thinks we're great friends. I hate that fat f." An absolutely incredible story, and again, Michael himself said that he learned from Larry. He learned how to get into his opponent's heads, and this paid off big time as his career progressed. Which brings us to my final thoughts. What should we take away from this video? Well, to me, I think it's remarkable that the one guy that Michael Jordan could never best was Larry Bird, and maybe, of course, if Larry Bird's back did not give out, Michael would have gotten his chance to take down Bird because his career would have been longer. But it can also be said that if Larry's back held up, he would have been better, he would have stayed in his MVP form, and it could have been the Celtics who were beating the Bulls in the playoffs in the late 1980s, so Larry could have even gained a larger advantage on Jordan. We'll never know for sure there. What we do know is that in an extremely rare occurrence, it was an opponent who took things personal against Michael Jordan and actually got the better of him. Yes, Larry Bird took the loss in that 1984 exhibition game, but then after that, he did not do a whole lot more losing, especially in the playoffs. 6-0 for Larry Bird and the Celtics. That is something that Larry Bird will take to his grave and is the reason why Michael was so hyped to beat Larry Bird when Larry was a coach. Finishing up here though, I do also think it's awesome that Mike really held no hard feelings against Larry. Sure, he is a competitive psychopath and always wanted to beat Larry, but he has openly praised Larry Bird. He has openly said that he has learned from Larry Bird, and he has said that he used this knowledge to help himself become the greatest basketball player of all time. With that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and also go check out my podcast and subscribe and turn on post notifications there. You're going to be entered to win a PS. Notifications are on, so you're...
Oh, man. So, Mike admitted he just couldn't beat Larry Bird. He just couldn't beat him. So, you know, a lot of people say, man, I just think Larry Bird the greatest player ever, greatest trash talker ever. I don't think nobody was better than Larry Bird. The man get in your head, can shoot from anywhere, shot in Charles Barkley's face and told him Merry fucking Christmas. Yo, man, this is crazy, bro. Larry legend, bro. I don't think nobody could stop Larry back then, man. But like they said Michael Jordan could, and I think they still put Michael Jordan over Larry Bird because of I guess the rings, because he got more rings than Larry Bird. I don't know if that's the reason they trying to put Mike over Larry. But I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comment section who y'all got. You know what I'm saying? But I look at them as two great players. Like I said, Michael Jordan was like an all-around player. You got Larry Bird, it was damn near like an all-around player, stealing the ball, rebounds, passing, shooting threes, can shoot anywhere on the court. I mean, Larry Bird be pulling from the interstate. He'll pull from the interstate and shoot it. Well, look, y'all, we have made it to the end of the video. If you did enjoy, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new with your notification turned on. It's your boy Adogg, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next one.